Tourism is a fun thing and can draw many people towards it, but the people with a passion for dark tourism are born different. Though it could be a little upsetting for some individuals when they visit a place related to a historic tragedy, dark tourism is still one of the activities that has so much to offer to people who are enthusiastic about exploring. And if you're one of them, this video is for you. As in this video today, we are going to look into everything related to dark tourism. What it is, how it's done, and what places in the world are related to it. We got it all covered, so without any further delay, let's get into it. One of the most unique tourism trends in recent years might have to be the fascination with dark tourism. There has always been an interest in places that may have a historical connection to sad events. However, while there are various reasons why people wish to visit such sites, dark tourism is not necessarily a bad thing. You may argue that exploring these dark tourist places helps to preserve the past, or ensuring that the same heinous events do not occur again. And, while your trip intentions may elicit conflicting opinions from others, they are exciting places. But what exactly is dark tourism, or how could we define it properly? Dark tourism destinations are those that are associated with death, destruction, or some type of calamity. While some may consider them bizarre, you'd be amazed how many places you visited that had similar undertones. For example, have you ever gone to the Tower of London? Torture rooms and horrible legends abound. What about Rome's Colosseum? The lethal gladiator events held here were among the bloodiest spectator sports in history. So in simple terms, we could say that dark tourism means atmospheric tourism, in which people can perceive the beauty in a place's tragedy. It is often referred to as black tourism and mourning tourism. This type of travel entails more than just visiting the scene of a natural disaster. It allows individuals to reflect on how the site contributes to modern society today. You could see places like Chernobyl in the darkness that create sadness because of destruction and death. It's a well-known example of being acquainted with black tourist spots. It is also one of the most popular tourist spots. Other grim tourism locations include war memorials, active battle zones, haunted houses, nuclear assault sites, atomic bomb sites, natural catastrophe sites, and any other location with a terrible history and is associated with death. And of course, the people visiting such places can be referred to as dark tourists, but it doesn't mean that they're actually dark. It's just a term that is specifically given to people who are very much into dark tourism. The genre of dark tourist is gaining popularity among travelers from all around the world. There is also an increase in searches for the term dark tourism, and there are a few dedicated tourism management firms, as well as tour guides. Guided tours let you understand recent history, long traditions, exclusion zones, and so on. If you ask about the dark tourism sites, then let me tell you that they can be found in most of the places in the world. That's right! Over the past 60 years, dark tourism destinations have included Bogota, Colombia, Cusco, Peru, Bolivia, Togo, Chernobyl, Romania, Florence, Moscow, Camilio, and many others. All these locations emphasize the profound connections between history, tragedies they have suffered, have dark histories, and are associated with death. Let's take a look at some of these destinations. At first, we have Kigali Genocide Memorial, Africa. Southeast Asia is well known for its dark tourism industry because of its rich heritage and tragic ending. One such example is the 1994 genocide in Rwanda. Armed militias massacred members of the Tutsi minority and Hutu ethnic group for nearly 100 days. It is thought that between 500,000 and 600,000 individuals were ruthlessly murdered. When these sensitive stories become public, people are drawn to the victims, resulting in tourism. Over 250,000 people's remains can be found at the Kigali Genocide Memorial. There is a visitor center for students and tourists interested in learning more about the events leading up to the genocide in 1994. It is a main entry point for foreign travelers and has a few more sites worth seeing. This incident remains a delicate issue in Rwanda, where discussing ethnicity is forbidden. Another place that could be put in the same category is called Auschwitz-Birkenau State Museum, Poland. People who are interested in World War II events will be familiar with the Auschwitz concentration camp. It was founded in 1940 by German higher authorities in the Auschwitz suburbs. By 1942, it had grown into one of the most extensive networks of Nazi extermination camps. Prisoners were subjected to forced labor, brutal medical experimentation, and mass executions. The Auschwitz-Birkenau State Museum is a memorial and museum dedicated to the victims of the camps. It is one of the most popular aspects of Holocaust tourism. Auschwitz is also known as the epitome of all dark tourism. The Garden of Fugitives, Italy, is another place for people to visit who are fond of dark tourism. It is a world-renowned heritage site that draws tourists from all over the world. It is also one of the most important archaeological sites on the planet due to its Roman remnants. The ancient town is famed for the volcanic ash produced by Mount Vesuvius' eruption in the year 79 AD. Even after so many years, it is still a well-preserved Roman settlement. It was rediscovered in the 18th century, and excavations have been ongoing since the 19th. One-third of the site remains under ash. Many mosaics, cultural treasures, and human body remains have been discovered. To recreate the appearance of petrified bodies, archaeologists poured liquid chalk into the hollow spaces created by rotting bodies. Some of the plaster casts have a relaxed and sleepy face. If you're a person who's much into visiting the sites that have witnessed some nuclear disasters, then you should definitely visit Chernobyl and Pripyat, Ukraine. Chernobyl experienced the greatest nuclear tragedy in 1986. It was triggered by a sequence of errors at the power plant, which culminated in explosions that sent radioactive material into the atmosphere. The toxic air was carried over Ukraine, Belarus, and Russia by the winds, contaminating millions of acres of land that had to be permanently evacuated. Pripyat is also known as the Ghost Town, and travelers from all over the world visit to witness the amusement park, a moss-covered Ferris wheel, and other examples of how vibrant the town was before the sad occurrence. Visitors experience a natural sense of erosion and disruption that may be noticed in a destination's atmosphere. Chernobyl has not yet reached the end of its development and deployment. However, it is still attracting a lot of attention from dark tourists all around the world, especially following the popular web series about this horrific occurrence. Tuolsleng Genocide Museum, Cambodia, is another site for dark tourism. The genocide in Cambodia, perpetrated by the Khmer Rouge under Pol Pot, is regarded as one of the biggest crimes against humanity. The Tuolsleng Genocide Museum commemorates the genocide as well as the torture of victims in prison. It can be found in Phnom Penh. The location is a former secondary school that served as Security Prison 21 between 1975 and 1979. Between 14,000 and 20,000 people were imprisoned and tortured. Almost all of them ended up in Cheong X death fields. So if you have a taste for dark tourism, then you must give this place a visit. There's no disputing that visiting many of the world's dark tourism spots is unsettling. The crimes that occurred there, as well as the stories that relate, are frequently incomprehensible. However, dark tourism sites are just as significant as any museum or other tourist attraction. It is important to note here that many dark tourism destinations have witnessed horrific events, and as with any trip experience, respect is essential for a person who's visiting these places. Dark tourism should not be associated with voyeurism, but for individuals with a morbid passion, or even a healthy curiosity, searching out such locations may be both informative and humbling. Whether or not you intend to visit any or all of the sites included, you must admit that they are all fascinating. You will be welcomed as long as you have valid reasons for visiting and maintaining a polite approach towards them. And that's all for this video today. Let us know what your thoughts are in the comments below. If you enjoyed watching this video, then hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.